It's been a minute. Last time I uploaded was 11 days ago after that game 3 of the Suns and Nuggets. And now we are in the conference finals, Nuggets, Lakers, and Celtics and the Heat. Nuggets right now are up 1-0. That game was last night. I am recording today on Wednesday with the Heat and Celtics coming up tonight. This video should be out before that game. So let's talk about yesterday's game since it happened. We got something to talk about. The Nuggets went up 20 third quarter and almost blew it to the Lakers. Almost blew it. Almost. They brought it to 3. They couldn't finish it. They were probably getting gassed because when you come back from a 20-point lead, you're using a lot of energy. A lot of energy. But if I'm a Lakers fan and I'm looking at this game, we were down 20. We brought it back to 3. We lost, which no team ever wants to lose. Like, you never want to lose a basketball game. You never want to lose in anything. So if I'm a Lakers fan and I look at this game, I'm going to look at it in some type of, success, but not. Because you started off the game, this was a weird thing for Darvin Ham to do, and that was to go in a 3-guard lineup with the Nuggets, with everyone almost on their team being 6'4", 6'5". And yeah, you could say Dennis Schroeder is a good defender, why you would want him to start and maybe guard Murray. D'Angelo Russell is not a good defender. Reeves, he's iffy. And you don't want for a switch to happen and have Schroeder on Jokic or Schroeder on Michael Porter Jr., which we saw. Michael Porter Jr. was big yesterday. I think he had 20 points. It looked like he was automatic, like he just wasn't missing. It looks like that was the whole Nuggets team. Bruce Brown, 20 points off the bench. Caldwell Pope, I think I seen hit 3 straight threes in a row. He ended with, 20 points. Jokic, we know him. He had a 35-point triple-double. Murray with 20. When you have 4 people in the 20s, it's just almost impossible to win that game. And for the Lakers to even push it to get that close and even have a fighting chance is great for their morale. It's great for them. Because now you look at what happened. In the first quarter, we were getting beat down where we didn't know what to do. We didn't know what to do with Jokic. We didn't know how to guard it. But in the third and fourth quarter, midway through the third, we figured, wait, with us running small ball, it's not working, so let's do the opposite and go big. And now they had, I think their lineup was the starting lineup, but other than Schroeder, it was Rui Hachimura finishing the game, which when you look at it, now you have AD not guarding Jokic, you had Rui guarding Jokic, and now AD's more of a threat in the paint, sending shots back, because he's on AG, so now he can help. You can let Aaron Gordon shoot that corner 3 ball all game. He's not going to hit every single one. He's not probably going to hit out of 10 tries. He might hit 4. That's a good percentage, but you'll live with that instead of Jokic going out here and giving you 35, 20, and 10. I would rather live with AG shooting than Jokic just going one-on-one with Anthony Davis. There was a play, I think, this was before they switched it up and went big. There was a play where it was a one-on-one Jokic and AD with the ball. Jokic caught in the post in the wing area. I don't think it was near the block, but I think it was a little above. Where I just seen Jokic pound and just go into AD's chest and lay the ball up. It didn't look like he was working for his baskets at the start of the game. He literally just put the ball down in the post, took 1, 2, 3 dribbles into his chest, laid the ball up. Probably the easiest point I've ever seen an MVP candidate get in my life. Because, one, you got to send a double team at Jokic. He's a great passer. He can kill you with the pass. But I'd rather let the others beat me than have Jokic go out there and beat me. So with Rui guarding him, he only had, I think, 6 points on Rui, and it wasn't field goals. It was free throws. Jamal Murray stunk in the fourth quarter. He was in foul trouble. Caldwell Pope was in foul trouble. But now with Jokic out of the equation, you're forcing a Michael Porter Jr. guy who's a streaky shooter. He might go out there and hit 2 out of, if he's not having a good shooting night, Michael Porter Jr. has a little to no effect on the game. Yesterday his defense came up big on LeBron. There was a couple possessions where his defense was good, but if Michael Porter Jr. is not hitting shots, he's little to no effect in this game, and if you take him out the game, it's a big momentum switch for the Lakers, and I think that's what you have to do. You have to force Jokic you have to force Jokic to pass. It sounds ridiculous, but I'd rather Jokic pass than have Jokic take my big man 5 seconds to get to the basket and lay the ball up for an easy 2. I'd rather the other team have to work for it. Now, with the Lakers' offense, I feel like they finally figured out that the pick and roll was actually working. With the end, I think it was 5 minutes left to go in the fourth. They started running a LeBron and Austin Reeves pick and roll and getting Murray into the action, which was honestly killing the Nuggets every time because Reeves was hitting almost every 3 he took. It was a high pick and roll. LeBron had AG on him, and Austin Reeves was getting guarded by Murray. Murray would hedge, but he wouldn't fully commit. But there was a little communications problem with him and AG, which left LeBron with the easy dish to AR for the 3. And they was getting killed by that left and right. So I think they're finally figuring out their offense against this team, and they're finally figuring out their defense, which is going to be very, very scary in this series. And I think this series will go to 7. I don't think it'll end with 6. I don't think it'll end in 5. I think the series will go to 7. I want a Lakers and Celtics finals. That's what I want. With the 4 teams that it's out right now, I want a Lakers and Celtics finals. But I don't know if it'll happen. Hopefully it will. But I do have the Nuggets winning in 7. I think the Nuggets is deeper than the Lakers. I just think they have more firepower than the Lakers. I want the Lakers to win. Do I think they'll win? Maybe. Maybe they win. But I just don't know. Now, usually I would just leave off on this note, just a 7-minute video, just leave off right here. But we are going to also talk about the Celtics and Heat series that's about to happen tonight. Right now, so I don't have to upload two different videos and just make it one huge video. So with this, we saw this lineup, we saw this team's matchup last year, but the teams, they might look the same, but they're not in a way. The Celtics now have Brogdon. They have Rob fully healthy now. He was on and off last year. And the Heat are missing, I think, 2 big pieces in Victor Oladipo and Tyler Hero. I think that's all they're missing is those 2, which are a big hit for them. It's a big hit. Because with the Celtics, what they did to Joel Embiid in Game 7, they were fine with doubling their best team and forcing other players to make that shot. And with Jimmy Butler and Bam, you can double Jimmy and force Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, and Max Strus to hit shots. Now, Max Strus, he's a great shooter. He's going to hit those shots. Gabe Vincent, a good shooter. He's going to hit those shots. But a Caleb Martin, you would live with Caleb Martin shooting that ball. You're going to live with it. So, what they did to Embiid Game 7 would probably be the best defense they played all season. I've watched Celtics basketball almost all my life, and that was probably the best defense I've ever seen on an MVP by the Celtics. We held an MVP to, I think, 16 points in a Game 7 where they needed him the most. Now, for the Heat side of this matchup, the Heat are missing 2 offensive players. Victor Oladipo is probably their best option off the bench when he's healthy. And Tyler Hero is probably their best offensive option when they're healthy. It sounds crazy because Jimmy Butler is really the star of the team, but I think Tyler Hero brings most of the offense. But with Tyler Hero out, that leads one less threat for the Celtics to worry about. And now on the bench, first of all, Kyle Lowry has been great for them off the bench, but that's really the only person scoring for the Heat is Kyle Lowry off the bench. And Kyle Lowry's not scoring that much, but you're going to need your bench to step up in this series very, very, very much for the Heat to even have a fighting chance, in my opinion. You can't have Jimmy Butler go off for 50 every game or 40 every game. You're just not going to win a series like that. He might do it once or twice, but he's not going to win you a series dropping 40-plus a game for 7 games straight. I just don't think that'll happen. And when they have when they're subbing in their bench, because now Victor Oladipo's hurt, so they have to sub someone else in to take his spot. They're subbing Duncan Robinson in, who we saw in 2020 kill the Celtics. And we thought when he signed that extension, we thought it was a great signing. And now he was at the end of the bench, and now he's getting rotational minutes again. But the thing about now Duncan Robinson getting minutes is the defense liability. When we saw Duncan Robinson get minutes a lot of times, either this year, last year, the year before that, he was getting targeted on the defensive end every single time, and it was taking a candy from a baby. It was the easiest bucket people could probably get. And now, and the thing is with the Celtics is they can run either lineup. They can run a big lineup with Rob at the 4 and Al at the 5. They can run a small lineup, all guards and forwards with Smart, White, Brogdon, Tatum, Brown. They can run a regular size lineup with Horford at the 5, Tatum at the 4, White at the 2. And right there, that lineup I think will become very, very big in this. And it'd probably get used more than we probably think. Because with that lineup that I just read, not only is it a defensive lineup, it's a lineup that can stretch the floor. So I'll give you guys an example. So say they have Duncan Robinson, Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Bam, and let's throw in Caleb Martin. Those 5 guys on the floor against those 5 I just named for the Celtics. The Celtics have floor stretchers. They have defense. It's going to be scary for them. Without being able to stretch the floor, it forces Bam to stay on Al, or their rotations are going to have to be their rotations are going to have to be somewhere near perfect for them to really compete. With Bam out of the paint, it leaves the paint wide open for someone to take the lane. It makes Brown be able to drive. It takes Smart being able to drive. It takes Tatum being able to drive. Brogdon be able to drive. And with Bam, he's going to have to make a decision. Do we want Al shooting 10 threes and he hits 5? Or do we want everyone to just lay the ball up and get 2s and we beat them shooting 3s? We're not a great 3-point shooting team, so you're in a tough situation with that. But with this series, I do think it should end, in my opinion. I think it should end in 5, but I think it will probably go 6. I think Jimmy will win two games. But I do have the Celtics winning this series, and I'll probably talk about the finals when we actually have the game. I'm not gonna make a prediction right now of the finals. It makes no sense to. If the games will be considered in about a week or so, there's no point in me doing that. But I just had to get this video out for you guys. I haven't uploaded in almost 2 weeks. It's been a minute. If you're watching this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, post notifications on, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back.